morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 1160th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar, and that, of course, would be me. Good evening, traders. A lot of videos. This is 1160. A lot more coming at you. There's a lot of great information in the other 1159, I assure you. Traders, futures trading, as we know, can be extremely risky. So before we get started, you need to know this. With today's volatility, it's extremely, extremely risky. A stop is absolutely going to be your best friend in this business. Put them in. Don't trade without them. All right, so for trading on Sunday and Monday, that's April 14, 2014, we've got some stuff on the board. First of all, another red Omni. So, boo, hiss, boo. You know, we don't like to clap too loud for those red Omnis, but they are what they are. Traders, I came out in front of you last Sunday evening. Let me retract that. I didn't come out in front of you at all. I did one of those Camtasia style where I filmed just my desktop. And I did a video for you, and in that video I gave out certain projections. I gave them out in my chat room. I gave them out on the internet. I put them on Facebook, but I did them in a YouTube video. Those projections were met exactly that last week. I mean, I gave out projections on Sunday night, and bang, by Wednesday, Thursday, they were met exactly. Here we are a week later. This Sunday night, I am going to give you new projections in a few different markets. I will give them to you very shortly in the chart segment, so pay attention. New projections for the emini S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow. Pay attention to those. So what's on the board? We've got a shortened session week, traders. We've got Easter Sunday, and then in Europe, Easter Monday. Short session week. What usually happens on a short session week with a major holiday like Easter, you tend to see reversals. So holiday reversals are likely going to come this week. Now, that's an interesting thing. I've got lower targets. We've got the market coming off. We got reversals that were possibly expected because holidays tend to bring them. And guess what? Aunt Janet's going to speak for us tomorrow and Wednesday, right? Tomorrow, probably not enough to buoy the markets. Wednesday's the important day. She's going to speak in New York. I have a feeling that will be enough to start the reversal back. So hopefully the targets I'm going to give you in a moment, those targets will get met before Janet has her speech on Wednesday. We'll see how that goes. This is short-term trading, these targets, okay? Therefore, what should happen in the next couple of days? All right, so last thing on the board, okay, so we know Aunt Janet's going to, well, what I have is Aunt Janet yaps on Monday and Wednesday. Whenever she yaps, the markets go, right? Yap, baby, yap. Come on, Aunt Janet. We want you to yap your head off. All right, so, all right. This, traders, what's happening now, I've been doing this for 32 years. Many of you know that maybe I'm not the best in the world at this by any means, but I'm much better than the average bear out there when it comes to figuring out where these markets are going. And I don't mean a bear by a bearish trader. I can do more things with charts than the average guy. I've been studying for 32 years, and you know I study harder than anybody out there. I have given some projections over in the past and, you know, where we go for the year, blah, blah, blah. What I'm saying from all of my experience, traders, here's what's going on as far as the markets are concerned. What you are seeing now is an adjustment. Now, I can get into all sorts of technical terms, and I can show you all sorts of reasons why, and I can get into the fundamentals, but let's do this in layman's terms, okay? Here is what's going on with the markets. This is not the end of the world coming. This is not 2008 starting again. I assure you. I can show you chart after chart why, but here is what I want to tell you, which will make a lot of sense in layman's terms. The biggest customer the world has ever seen in the world's entirety, in the life of trading in all of history, has been the U.S. Fed for the past 5 or 6 years. No one has ever seen a customer this big. Consider the market. Stocks and bonds are the customer, or are the market, right? The customer is the Fed. Imagine if you ran a business and you had Walmart as a customer, and suddenly Walmart said to you, we're going to start to taper off the buying that we're doing from your company. In fact, within the next 5 months, we're not going to buy anything from you anymore. Don't you think that your company would have an adjustment? I mean, would your bottom line stay the same? Is it possible? So, losing a customer the size of Walmart tends to give you a market pullback if the company is the market. If you sold widgets And you had Walmart as a widget buyer for the last 6 years. Walmart's the biggest buyer of anything out there. If they stopped buying your widgets, you would have an adjustment in your books, right? The government has told us they're backing out. That's it. We know they are. They are backing out of the market. We are seeing an adjustment. When they're done, the adjustment will stop. The ball will be given back to us, the traders, the street, the whole world, not the Fed. They will just do their normal pomos that they used to do before the world got crazy in 2008. And the way we should go. So what I'm here to say is, once again, this is merely an adjustment. It has to happen. The world, the U.S. market is, let's say, a business. It lost its biggest customer, Walmart, right? The Fed. It has to go down a little bit. This has to happen. So let it happen. It's not going to stop the economy. It's not going to stop anything. And let me just say one more thing about the Fed. There's a lot of you out there that have been against the Fed since 2008. I have been in their back, in their corner, and doing video after video telling you how right they are going to be. Well, here we are several years later. You might fight the Fed, but let me tell you something right now. The Fed was right for injecting money because look at the markets today. The Fed did get real estate back on its feet. The Fed did slow down the higher, fast climbing rate of unemployment. The Fed has gotten banks back on their feet. They lent money to car companies. The point is, look at the country right now. Now the Fed thinks it's time to start to back off and hand the leverage back over to us, the U.S. Americans. Do you think that's not a bad idea? Do you think the Fed is wrong? If you think the Fed is wrong, again, look in the damn mirror. What is wrong with you people? They have been so right through this. You've got to think they're right for backing out. Now, they must have the model proper set. Obviously, that tells them it's time to get out. I was doing videos last year saying it was time for the Fed to get out. From my knowledge, I thought they should have been gone already. The Fed is leaving. The market's losing its biggest customer it ever had, the Fed. It's going to have to adjust. That is all we're going to see here. By the end of this year, this target is going to be nailed because that's what we're expecting. Now, will it go straight up? Of course not. We're on our way down. There are levels that I call a stop out. If we get under certain levels, I would actually say that this target's now negated. But we're nowhere near those levels. The ass can drop for weeks before we hit a level that would negate this target. So, again, I'm here to say this is merely an adjustment. Long-term thinking now over the next few weeks, maybe a few months. This is an adjustment. It will go away. The economy is not getting worse. The country is getting back on its feet. The Fed is bailing out of the business. They should be bailing out. So, shortened session, Easter Sunday and Monday. Don't forget, Monday in Europe, Sunday here. We're going to be off on Friday. Reversals almost always come this week. With Janet speaking on Wednesday, what a great time to get a reversal, right? And remember, this is merely an adjustment. The U.S. is doing really well as a company, if you will. As a country, it's getting better and better. I tell you, it's an adjustment. Traders, here come those targets I've been telling you about. With no further ado, let's go look at some targets.
My name is Daniel. I'm from Portugal. I flew more than 15 hours to come to Omni camp, and it was the right decision. When I first thought to come to Omni camp, I called Oscar, and he only made me one promise, that it was to shave 20 years from my curving line, and he was lying. He shaved all my life.
It is so simple to learn. It is almost eerie. And usually the best things are the simplest things, and that's what Oscar has developed here with this honor.
On the first day I said, that's it? So simple? Oscar is the perfect guy. Since you met him, a light on your head turns on. So on the first day of Omni camp, your life starts changing.
Throughout this Omni camp, being as long as it is, I was expecting it's going to be a mountain of information. I got to tell you guys, it's some amazing techniques he teaches you, and some simple techniques actually.
In the end of Omni camp, not in the end, in the third day of the Omni camp, all of us were doing the same exactly calls that the Omni. The same exactly calls. So it's amazing the things. Oscar is a wonderful teacher, a wonderful teacher.
The first three recommendations we made and profited from, pay for the Omni camp. I mean, how can you go wrong? It's really, if cost is an issue with you guys, you should really get that out of your head, because the wealth of information you get from this guy is just unbelievable. So based on that, you got to get to Omni camp. Any chance you get, go.
This is the place to come. If you ever get a chance to come to Omni camp, seriously, you come.
Okay, traders, this chart I put before your eyes last weekend, Sunday night, like tonight, but for last week. And I said I've got some targets. 1830 to 1823 and a half in the ES, 3449 to 42 in the NASDAQ, 7210 in the tranny. The NASDAQ nailed perfectly. Bang, it hits. The S&P, it closed. It went right down to 1823 and a half, and it was the low last week for that day. Perfect. The tranny's on its way down. It's only maybe at 73.55, but it's on its way. I have a feeling it'll make that target. So this is what I put before your eyes, and bingo, bingo, like magic, traders. How about that, huh? Sunday night I give you targets, and they all get nailed, or just about all of them get nailed during the week. I'm here to say there's a new target. 1784 to 1781 is our new short-term target for the emini S&P. Let's look at more charts. Targeting gold. Let's go to gold. 1339 to 1343, very short-term target. We should see that tomorrow by Tuesday. 1339 to 43 in the June gold. Target next. Dow Jones Industrial Average, adding this to the list. 15,725 to 15,697. That brings us down here. That's what I'm expecting in the next day or two. We've got NASDAQ targets, two of them, 3404 and then 3361, putting us in here. And then we've got the ES target that I told you about. That is 1784 and a half to 1781, puts us down in here. Then there's this. Don't forget, traders, no matter what you've seen in bonds last week, we are still starting week 36 below the 200-bar moving average. This, look how far away you still are from it, so bonds could rally a lot and never even get to the average. We do not stay under a 200-bar moving average in a bull market, so it must be a bear market because it's under for 36 weeks, or at least 35 full weeks, and we're starting week 36. I say long-term bonds are still going to come off, and I think Janet is going to stop the downslide this week. Pull your own charts, do your own homework. I'll see you at livewithoscar.com. So, traders, there it is. You've seen my technical argument for some of it. Otherwise, you've seen at least the targets. Remember, shortened session week, Sunday and Easter Monday in Europe. Reversals will likely come this week. It's a major, major holiday. Aunt Janet yaps, I'm sure that'll give us our reversal. And remember that we're in the middle of an adjustment. When you lose Walmart as your customer, your store is going to suffer. All right, traders, if you'd like to study with me for 4 straight days here in Las Vegas, locked in a room with me, you come to livewithoscar.com, click the Omni Camp banner, fill out your application, and I'll be more than happy to qualify you for an Omni Camp that we are holding here in Las Vegas, May 16th through 19th. That's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. If you'd like to attend, make sure you come to livewithoscar.com and ask me about it, or click that banner. All right, traders, that's about it. I'll see you at livewithoscar.com. Remember, keep your emotions out of trading. One of the best things you can do to help yourselves with that is say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Traders, I hope those targets help you. I hope they help keep you in tune with what should be coming next this week. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided.